Very good morning to all my dear students. Last time in Food for All, we have already finished how a farmer is trying to protect the crops as well as he is storing the grains, correct? Now let us see how other people also store food in their house and why it is necessary. You know that all the time it is not possible for us to go to the market and buy the things for monthly or daily requirement. So it is convenient to buy and keep certain things and store them in the house. So this is how every people in the house buy, and even if we buy all these products and keep it in the house, like for example rice and wheat, the quality doesn't change, fine. And it is also not convenient to go and buy the food items every time on the shop or at the last moment, because sometimes it is not possible. So it is very necessary for all of us to store the food grains like this. But there are certain substances which we cannot store all the time or in a larger quantities. Okay, it is for our daily needs, like for example milk. Okay, if we buy milk also, we need to preserve it. We can preserve it by boiling. So if we boil it in the morning, it is necessary for us to till the next morning. If we want the milk, then we have to boil it the second time, or maybe we can keep it in the fridge for preservation. And suppose this is not done, that is either the boiling or refrigeration, then the preservation of the substances like milk is not possible, fine. So it is very necessary for all of us to store. Now even like humans, other animals also store their food. So each one of them have the different way of preparing. Like for example ants, insects like ants store their foods. Then honeycombs also collect nectar and then store them in the form of honey in their honeycomb. As well as all the squirrels, you can see squirrels also collect the seeds. So every animal is trying to store the food whenever they need to eat it. So it is very necessary not only for human beings, even for other animals to store the food. So not only these animals are doing this, but plants prepare their own food. All these are storing the food as per their need. Now plants also actually prepare the daily food every day, okay, as per required in the required amount. But there are certain plants, okay, you might have heard that there are onion bulbs or garlic bulbs like onions or garlic, and tubers like potatoes and ginger. These are all the stems of the plants. These are called as the stems of the plants. And these stems are actually what they are doing, they are storing the food. They are also called as storage tubers or storage bulb. Now bulb, why it is called as bulb is like the shape of the onion as well as the garlic, both of them are called as stem bulbs, okay. It is a modification of the stem, so they are modified into the form of a bulb. Or potatoes and gingers are also called as tubers, so they are modified to store the food. So you might be eating these almost every day, correct? So plants also store food in this way. So all these onion or potato, garlic and ginger, they are called as stem part of the plant, okay. So they store food in these types of stem parts. Even you can see some of the roots are also modified, like sweet potato is a modified root, then carrot, beetroots, all of them are modified roots, and they also store their food. So like plants and animals, even human beings store food. So it is very necessary for everyone to store food so that it can be used later on, okay. Now due to modern methods of or improved methods of farming, now India has now produced lot of food grains, okay. And these food grains not only meets the demands of the people, but even the surplus quantity of the food grain remains. And this surplus quantity, when it remains, it can be stored nicely in the warehouses. So sometimes in the some disasters like you can see if there is flood or if there is drought and all, okay, all these times the surplus quantity of food which is there can be used. Okay, so why? Because at that time the food grains and all, everything is lost, farmer is not able to produce, so hailstorm and all. So at that time what is happening? At that time government is even sometimes the people are getting displaced due to disasters like earthquake and all these disasters. How government is helping? So government, what government is doing is nothing but provide the food to all the victims of, whether it is of earthquake or cyclone prone regions. Government provides the surplus quantity which is stored in the warehouses to the people. Okay, now let us visit now to the fair price shop, or also called as the public distribution system. Now this is called a rationing system. So rationing system, you might see that the people are given the daily commodities like the rice and wheat and other items like kerosene. So these are all available in the rationing shops, or maybe the it is also called as public distribution system. So people go there and buy the monthly items what they require, especially the poor people and financially weaker society of the country. All are provided with this system, that is the public distribution system, at a lower cost, so that the daily requirements which are necessary for everyone, it can be given to them at a lower rate. So this is regarding food storage and conservation of environment. Now since you have seen now that the India is producing surplus quantity, that means too much of grains are produced and it is also exported to other countries. How this has become possible? So it has become possible due to something called as green revolution. So now let us see what is meant by green revolution, who started green revolution, and how green revolution has helped people to get their daily requirements. Today our nation has become self-reliant as far as production of food grains is concerned. Even the surplus quantity which is there produced every year, it's been exported to other countries too. Now this tremendous increase in the production of the food grains is all possible because of green revolution. Now what does this green revolution means? The green revolution is nothing but the more increase the population of India is growing every year. Okay, and even the land and the cultivation is going on decreasing. It's because the people are using their agricultural land for building houses, or maybe the government is using for construction of the roads or railways or construction of dams and all. So this way the area of farming is going under construction, or it is for other purposes it is being used, and so even the land is going on decreasing. See, population is increasing, second thing, land is decreasing. Then how it is possible to meet the demands of so many people? The population of our India is almost now 1.25 billion, or 125 crores of people are there in India. But each and every person in India is self-reliant or self-sufficient. They get food. Even the people who are below poverty line, government has made such schemes that they will be getting their daily requirement. The rice they can get for 2 rupees kilo and so. So all these, why it has happened? It's because of the improved methods of farming, which is nothing but called as green revolution. So green revolution is nothing but the increase in the yield per area, whatever it is, whatever, suppose the plant used to give around in 1 acre of land around 400 quintals or so, it might give 800 quintals. It's because the improved seeds are here, modern methods of irrigations are used, use of different fertilizers, protection of the crops is done. All this is nothing but all these improved methods of farming are called as green revolution. And this green revolution, we should give a credit to a person who has worked here. It's nothing but the scientists, the farmers who are working, and even the other people, researchers, all the efforts of all these people. People working for the spread of science, and even the farmers. And the one who brought this green revolution in India was Dr. M.S. Swaminathan. He was the first one, or he can be called as, he is not called as father of green revolution. Father of green revolution is Ernest Norman Borlaug. Okay, so he is not from India. So in the entire world, he has been called as the father of green revolution. So in the entire world he brought, but in India the one who brought the green revolution was Dr. M.S. Swaminathan. So we should give a credit to Dr. M.S. Swaminathan. Because of him, our nation has become self-reliant. So thanks to Dr. M.S. Swaminathan and even Professor Norman Ernest Borlaug. Okay, he is called as the pioneer or father of green revolution. So thanks to these people, and because of whom we are self-reliant. So I hope so you have understood about how food storage and why food storage as well as conservation of the food environment is necessary, as well as what is green revolution. So in the next video we are going to learn about the food security, agricultural assistance program, and even what is meant by organic farming. So till then students, bye and take care. God bless you all.